Welcome to the program. I'm your boyfriend, George Stroumboulopoulos, and I just got word that my room at the Commonwealth Games finally ready. And not a moment too soon, because my triple jump is ready for prime time. That quote off the top you saw about fatherhood, that's really important, because in the next 30 minutes, we're going to talk about a lot of things that relate to you and your parents. Not really. It's just that, okay, we are. It's just not officially take your kid to work day. That's not until November the 3rd, but we wanted to get a bit of a head start. And it helps tonight because you've got father and son who are both big-time Hollywood stars. Tonight in the program, very excited, Martin Sheen and Emilio Estevez. Woohoo! Gonna be very good. Also, here's what else is going to happen in the next 30 minutes. I'm going to give you an announcement about what happens with Americans and where they get their news, and it will make you smile. And by make you smile, I mean it won't. It will make you cry. We'll get into that. But we're going to bring on a very strong and likable conservative pundit. David Frum will be here. So very excited to have both David Frum and Sheen and Estevez on the program. You know what? A lot happened in the world today, my friends. Let's deal with the day. Hey, all right, what can I tell you right here? Are you familiar with this guy? We know, Obama, President Obama. Remember when Obama came to power, everybody was so excited, people were crying, it was all about hope and change. Well, now it's not about hope and change. It's more like, hey, we're changing some shit, hope you don't mind. Well, here's what's happening, right? Here's what Obama's doing. He wants to make it easier for the U.S. government to spy on what's going on the internet. So email, Facebook, Skype, BlackBerry, you name it. If you're on doing it, Obama wants to create a scenario where it's easier to look at it. Next year, the idea is he's going to table a bill that would allow officials to eavesdrop on everything using wiretaps. God, that sounds like somebody else I know. Who would have done that in the past? It would have been probably... Actually, you know, to be fair to W, when Bush would do something like this, the media would go bananas. Everybody would slam him. So it raises an interesting question. Is it that Republicans and Democrats are kind of the same? Or is it that every president has to be seen as the guy who's tough on security? The only question that I have, though, is why is it tough on security always means people lose their rights? Can't you have both? I don't know, but we'll get into that in a little bit later on. Also, here's the thing. If I'm going to let you see what it is that I do on Skype late at night, and I'm going to give you that access to my deepest, darkest secrets, there better never be another terrorist attack. Don't let my shame be in vain, my friends. So there's a couple of things I wanted to tell you about today. Also, when you talk about what happens in terms of security, there's something pretty provocative happening in Ottawa. There's a Canadian photographer named Jonathan Hobin. And you know, let me just show you this picture. Take a look at this picture for a sec. Let me see this. Okay, see that picture? Little kitties and the Twin Towers there, 9/11, one plane so far. It's a big controversial exhibit that's happening at a gallery in Ottawa, and basically the photographer uses kids, mostly friends of his kids, to dictate events. Show this other one here. This is one that's getting a lot of talk about it, Abu Ghraib. That's a big one. A lot of people are upset, you know, saying you shouldn't use kids to depict these images, but here's what he's saying. He's saying this is a very scary world out there, and kids see what we see, and you cannot shelter them. I wonder if that's actually true. You know, I actually want to get him on the program tomorrow. We're going to try to get the photographer on the show tomorrow to see if we can't get into it. And in fact, should you shelter kids from what's happening in the real world, or should you use these images and it'll force you to have a conversation with your kids? He's also not the first artist to do this. We all remember Ann Getty's photo essay, very controversial on the plight of the homeless. It still resonates in schools all over the place.